Alright, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Miner, hanging out here with my buddy Ozzy. He's one half of the Time Flies Moto crew, as well as the owner of Mission Skateboards. So I want to hang out with him, talk about his bike. Before we get into that though, how did you get into motorcycles?
Man, shout out Marco. Marco had a sick Honda, and I had looked at bikes for a while, so that was the first time like I actually got to sit on one and ride one. But I grew up around a lot of lowriders, and one day we were in one and I saw a bike cut off traffic, and I was like, that looks like way more fun than this. Because when you're young, you're sitting there, you're like, it's cool, it's hot, we've been out all day. Like, at least that guy can get up and go when he wants, and he's gonna be over there way before us. So yeah, no,
sick. Okay.
Kind of,
What was the first bike you ever had?
That worked?
yeah, that you could actually like ride.
Man, so my first bike was this 1500cc Kawasaki Vulcan.
Okay.
That was missing second gear and needed a rebuilt charging system. I rode that thing like twice, and then I ended up just giving it away because I was young, didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
And then like a year later, I got a Honda Shadow.
Okay.
And I did everything to that bike. Like.
And that was the bike that I met you with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I used to work for Harley, and I went through that bike so much. Like Mr. 2020 bagger would be like, "What kind of Harley is that?" And
yeah.
I'd be like, "Well, you can't read. It says Honda."
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fun.
Sick. Okay. And so this is a 1997 Dyna, right?
Yeah. I got it like having sat on a few bikes, and I'm like, all right, I know I want to go far away. Like choppers are fun. And I knew I wanted a big twin, and I also knew I wanted like the shovel head of my generation. But then I got on this bike and I was like, this is not for chopper stuff. This is for Dyna stuff.
Yeah.
Like, let me go do some Dyna stuff. And it's cool. It went through an identity crisis for like the first 6 months of like, I cleaned up the handlebars, like all the wiring. I reintegrated the turn signals into the dash before just getting rid of them altogether. And then I just started building another bike that is a chopper. That way this one can just go back to comfort.
How long have you had this bike?
Since January of 2024.
Okay. Just a little over a year.
Yeah, I got it from an old lady, and she didn't even want to sell it. Like, she put the ads up on Craigslist at first, and we went to go see it, and she hit me with a message the day before. She's like, so many people want to see it, because she had it up for a good price. She was like, I'm not going to sell it to you. I'm just going to let you look at it. And then we're on the way there, and she hits me up. She's like, the bike doesn't start. And I was like, yes. I was like, that's negotiating power for me.
Yeah.
She didn't know how to work on it. And then at the same time, too, it was the same day as the Frisco Chopper Show. Like, so we were supposed to pick up the bike, and I was gonna ride it to there to see how I liked it. Or not how I liked it, but like, yo, I got a bike at the bike show, day of. So it didn't start, and in her head, she was like, yo, this kid's got money. He's about to go to a bike show. I'm sure she thought I was just would have flicked the wad at someone else. So while we're at the show, she tells me, yo, the bike got started. I replaced the battery. She's like, you want to come see it? And then I was like, only if I could buy it. And she was like, yeah. She just wanted it out of her hair at that point.
Yeah.
So I went to go pick it up. I rode it. I'm like, it worked. It did Dyna stuff.
So you're able to ride it back?
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, it was just the battery. Like, it had a lot of stuff going on. All that big setup.
You had the apes on there?
Yeah.
Nice.
And like, I had never tackled Harley internal wiring before.
Okay.
So that was one where I was like, I rocked it like that for about a week before I was like, I can cut all this stuff off.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I like this bike a lot.
What city did you pick it up in?
San Carlos.
Oh,
San
okay,
Carlos.
so not too far from here.
Yeah, shout out Chris from San Carlos.
What have you done to the bike already?
Man, quite a bit. So it came with 39 millimeter wide glide forks, and like a week ago I got fastidious on a Wednesday night, and I took them apart, and I ended up having to hack some stuff off because the internal steering race had like a little internal steering stop. I had it off. I was like, yo, I'm not going back, so I hacked that off, and now I'm trying to figure out the spacing with the brakes. But aside from reverting the front end back to stock minus the dual disc 21, redid the wiring, so it's all hidden wiring, hidden kill switch. I do have the turn signals and the horn on there, as well as the high and the low, even though it doesn't really get used at all at this point. That's about it. Mechanically it runs. I changed the oil as soon as I got it, and then after a trip, and redid the headlight. Just try to keep the functionality. Like, I still love chopper stuff, but it's also a working bike, and I didn't want to make it unbearable and just, you know, buy it to make it a worse bike, so to speak.
Did it come with these Vans and Hines?
Yeah,
Nice.
it did. It did. Like,
Yeah, it looks great.
like eventually, like, I love them a lot, and they work, and that's a big reason as to why I don't touch them. But eventually, I do want to go into like a 2-1 situation for the compression and like maybe a different air filter setup.
Yeah,
but,
that's the one it came with?
Yeah, but I learned
It looks good.
It works. I like it a lot. But I've learned my lesson. I'm not gonna take this one apart until the other one's done, because then I just sit around with like 2 or 3 projects and nothing gets done.
Right. You got to have one running bike.
Yeah.
Is this the Lepera that you got at Born Free?
Yeah, shout out Lepera, that was sick. So the whole ride down there, we're driving, and it's me, Marco, and Yuri, and Marco's brother.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, guys, because Born Free is great if you want to get a deal.
Yo, for sure.
For anything, because everyone's down there. But I'm like, I want this Lepera seat, the Cherokee seat. I was like, I just want this one. I don't want stitching on it. I just want this one.
Yeah.
I got the Born Free, immediately started blowing my wad. They had the Sergey Vans. I was like, I can't leave without those. And then I get to the Lepera booth, and there's no signal out there.
Yeah.
So I get up to there, and I was like, yo, do you guys have a seat? And the guy looks at me, and it's like a $400 seat, like over that.
Yeah.
I get to it, and he was like, I asked him, like, yo, you got it? And he's like, yeah. And he doesn't even tell me, he just shows it to me, and it was half off. Like, straight up, like, cash, don't worry about the tax, like, half off. I run, and I was like, Yuri, I'm out of cash. I was like, I'll fucking send you the money as soon as we get some signal, because I knew he was there to blow his wad too. And he was like, I didn't like anything here, dude. Like, take it. And like, I got it. As soon as we got signal, I sent him the cash, but I was like, yeah, no, if it wasn't for that, I'd probably be a lot more uncomfortable. Because I spent $185 on a bracket for a seat. I had to bend it and flip it 180 degrees for it to actually work with the seat, even though it was designed for this bike, like part number and everything. So I paid $185 for a bracket that made the bike feel worse than a rigid bike because of the angle and the lack of padding of the seat.
Yeah.
And then for $15 more, I got exactly what I wanted.
Sick.
So this is the Born Free Lepera seat. That was a good year.
Yeah, yeah, that was. I remember seeing you, and you were like super excited.
I thought it was for me. I thought it was for me. They brought it there for me that day.
Yeah. How much miles you got on this thing right now?
I got it at like 7,000 miles, and right now it's at 16. So
okay, so you've put some mileage on it.
Yeah.
What's like the longest trip you've done on it?
I don't know. I got it, and we did like a cool little ride to Mendocino, but took the long way. I think the odometer ended up being like a little over 300 miles after that.
Okay.
Virginia City, that was fun. That was like, let me see how this bike really, really works. And then I think that one gave me a necessary, I didn't know I needed it, but it may have adjusted something in my carburetor. Because all of a sudden I got back from elevation and my RPMs dropped like 500 on the freeway.
Yeah.
But I wasn't losing any compression. So I was like, did I break my engine in? And someone's like, most likely your carburetor got an adjustment up there from all the up and down.
Yeah, yeah.
But Virginia City, Mendocino, the Sweethearts ride to Salt Point, and just like I've gone to San Jose with it and back twice in one day. I commute with it a lot. Like it goes everywhere with me.
This is pretty much your daily rider, right?
If I can, if it's not raining, yeah, this will be the one.
Sick.
Yeah, and then also I didn't anticipate it. Like I was excited about it, just having a heavier bike for the windier days. Like, I'm with that too.
Yeah, because I definitely went from the Honda Shadows, like, especially you're hopping on 280, man. It's like you're getting blown around.
Honda Shadow, I feel like I had to stop because I had like the 6 overs, and then like 85 miles an hour, it would start doing that. I would dance, and I'm like, okay, I don't have a speedometer, but that's how I know I hit the 85 mark.
Yeah, yeah. No, for sure. Definitely the Shadows are a little risky to be on like the freeway at like high speeds.
Yeah, like surprisingly, like I took it to Born Free twice.
Oh, really?
The best for Born Free, because you're with choppers that can't stop very fast, so they're not going very fast.
Yeah.
So if you're just chilling in the back, like, and you catch up to them on the freeway, it's a good trip on a Honda Shadow.
Sick.
Like that's where I came from.
For this bike, what other plans do you have for it?
Pretty much, I guess I'm gonna have to shave down some rear calipers or see what spacers or rotors get me to where I need to be. People don't do 39 millimeters with dual disc 21. I get it now, but I still want it, so I'm gonna try and finagle some stuff and try and get that on there. But that I'm building an 84 Evo and a Paco swing arm frame. I'm going to get this thing functional with the brakes, and then I'm going to leave it alone for a little bit and just enjoy it. Finish the 84, and then once that one's all done, because that one's almost done, I'm just going to dedicate like everything I can to this one being comfort. So like the proper suspension for going far away, like maybe not swap out the front end, but invest in some cartridges, LED road light that will turn night to day. Like stop worrying about the aesthetics and make sure like I can go anywhere if I want to on any weekend, and I'm not gonna have to worry about it.
Yeah, more functional.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Choppers usually aren't functional.
no.
And then I did want to ask you about Time Flies, man. How did you get started with that with Marco?
Man, that was because there's a tattoo shop across the street from the skate shop, 24th Street Studios. Renette, she's cool, she rides, and they all appreciate bikes. And one day they had like a little Sunday market, but they didn't have any vendors. And I was like, yo, can I come sell bike parts? They were like, yeah. So I pulled up. I didn't sell anything that day, but I got the vision. I was like, yo, I could see bikes around here. And then the day I really thought we had something was I was helping Marco film a music video on my bike, so we had to do a whole bunch of takes back and forth. And we got an angry letter about that one day at the skate shop. They were like, we're tired of these wannabe bikers hanging around. We're tired of these cholos, whatever.
Yeah.
And I gave that to a guy at Dudley Perkins or whatever it was, San Francisco after. They were doing their Christmas ride in 2021 it was.
Okay.
They were doing their Christmas ride, and I gave it to him like the day before. I was like, yo, could you come in the morning, like have breakfast, just make some noise to bum the neighbors out, whoever this was. Like, they just don't like us.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right.
Let's make it worse.
And he didn't come. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. It's a long shot.
Yeah.
He showed the letter to everyone at the fucking ride and was like, fuck that, we're going to lunch. So I'm leaving, trying to go get some ice cream, and I see like 50 bikes come up the street. And
No
I was
way.
like, these guys just came from their Harley toy drive.
Yeah.
And that's when I saw it. I was like, yo, there's a lot of bikes here. Like, we could do something here.
Yeah.
And then I talked to Renette about it. I talked to Marco about it. I was on the phone with Marco one night. I was like, a simple 2-letter name, catch you can't forget. And he's the one that dropped Time Flies.
Okay.
I forget what we were going back and forth, but we were like, like I'll be the fly or something. He's like, Time Flies. And from there, we reached out to like people that, you know, you ride with, because chopper shows are cool. Choppers in general are cool, but then there's always that aspect of wanting to do it right, because then you see like, you know, this guy's trying to live off this other guy's work, and we don't have much work to present ourselves. Like, we're gonna have to kind of take that route because we like choppers, but no one's gonna come all this way to see some Honda Shadows.
Yeah.
That being said, like, we reached out to just people we rode with and be like, would you guys be down? And that turned into a lot of good times for everybody.
Sick.
Yeah.
Sick. And then you had 2 of them.
Yeah. We had 2 of them. We had, I would say, 4 events, because we would do Time Flies and we get photographers together, turn that into a book, and then work with Excelsior Coffee, who runs the June Jordan motorcycle mechanic program.
Okay.
And all the proceeds from that go to June Jordan, but that's also an event itself that day. So we get trophies out. It was cool. Leia, she usually gets to shut down the block, and we turn it into that. So we had 4. We had 5. 5 started out great. We had a championship belt, but we did have to shut it down just because it was like, it had nothing to do with us, but some stuff popped off that we couldn't really stand by.
Yeah.
And I was like, we have nothing to do with this, but if we keep it going right now, people are just going to come back forever to this spot, because it was at the skate shop.
Yeah.
So I was like, they're just going to come back here thinking it's okay, or like regardless of what happens with Time Flies. So
Sure.
we pulled the plug on it the day of. It sucked. It was whack. Sorry. There was a guy that came out from Chicago by himself. Fucking my homie from San Diego, Milo, would come up by himself. It was Milo. I'm sorry, Milo. It's early morning. But yeah, no, like, it was whack that people came out from everywhere. But then I was like, yo, people came out from like pretty far across the country for this.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, we still have thoughts of doing it, but at the same time, like, me and Marco work a lot.
Yeah.
And we like to enjoy our lives too. And
Sure.
like less than a year I stopped doing Time Flies. It's like I'm almost done building another bike, and I was like, I'm running a shop. Like, that was not on my plate when I was doing Time Flies. And granted, it just makes Time Flies seem that much more manageable if I ever do want to go back to it. But as of now, we're like, we got this stuff. We're maybe focus on putting something together to give it all away, so we're not stuck with anything. But it is nice to like go to Born Free, go to the one show, go whatever, and then be like, oh, like you guys gonna do Time Flies? Not like not even in work mode, just be trying to be on vacation and someone will drop it and my fucking brain will flick like, all right, like logistically what needs to happen right now. So yeah, no,
there's definitely some hype behind it. I mean, you guys did it proper, and like the YouTube channel is super cool to watch all the videos you guys do.
Yeah, that's all Marco, dude. He's got the eye for that. Like this drive for the videography, like it. I don't want to say it came out of nowhere, but once it came out, you're like, oh shit. Like,
yeah, he went all in for
like,
sure.
This guy's not playing.
Yeah. Sick. Cool, man. Well, that's all I really got to ask, you know. Like, I just wanted to learn a little bit more about your bike, you know, hang out with you, talk, and, you know, try this new version of doing interviews with homies and stuff like that.
Nice.
Well, right on, man. Thanks for coming onto the channel.
Thank you for having me, dude. It's a good time.
Let's go for some rides and, you know, get some cool rollers.
We could do that. No front brake today, but we could do that.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. All right, guys. Do me a favor. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace. Bro, check this out. What are the odds, dude? You got the Time Flies shirt?
Oh shit, I didn't realize.
Yo, what are the odds?
The numbers game, really.